Shalom, shalom, Israel. Shalom to the 12 tribes, YASHARAHLA, giving, of course, all honor and glory and praise unto the Most High, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, Mahashiach, Mamalak, Yahawashi, Barakatham. Alright, shalom to all the brethren and sisters out there in this truth, patiently waiting for the second coming of Mashiach Yahawashi, right? And it's enduring all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain salvation, which is in Mahashiach Yahawashi with eternal glory, right? So, shalom, shalom. And in this video, we'll be going through a couple precepts, right? And the question of this topic, right? The question of this video that, this video is based off is, are you studying, right? So, let me go to 2 Timothy, right? First, let me go to 2 Timothy to get a precept. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, alright? In verse 15, it says, "Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." So you got to study, right, to show yourself approved unto the Most High, right? You have to get nitty gritty with these scriptures, right? And not only with the scriptures, because you can't fully understand the scriptures without history. So you have to get in with the history, right? Of course, the prophecy, the scriptures, right? Geography, right? You have to be almost an all-around scholar, right, in this truth. So you have to be studying to show yourself approved unto the Most High, right? And if you do those things, you're not going to be ashamed, because you're going to be able to rightly divide the word of truth, right? So how do you study? You know what I'm saying? How do you study? So if we actually go to this footnote, right, we know that studying, you have to stay diligent, right? Well, if we go to this footnote, let's go to verse 15. It says, right, be diligent. So it's asking us, right, or Paul is basically commanding us, right? Not asking, but commanding, rather, right, to be diligent, right, in this truth, right? So let's go to 2 Peter, right? Let's go to 2 Peter then, right? Because Peter kind of touches on that, right? This is 2 Peter chapter 1, right? And verse 3 says, "According as his divine power have given us unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness, through the knowledge of him that have called us to glory and virtue." Right? The Most High, through Yahawashi, has called us to glory and virtue, right? And has what pertain unto life and godliness. But let's go to verse 4. It says, "Whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises, that by these ye might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust." Right? We have escaped the world. We have escaped the corruption, right, that is in the world, right? And now we're partakers of the divine nature. Verse 5, "And besides this, giving all diligence." So we have to give all diligence. Add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge, right? So you have to add onto yourself virtue, right? And to your faith, you have to add to your faith, right? And you have to be what? Diligent. You have to be studying. You have to be diligent in this word, right? Actually getting down to it, well, reading upon line, you know what I'm saying? Getting the history, getting the geography, getting the, all this stuff, that, because the scriptures, the scriptures touches on everything, every subject, right? Literature, right? Geography, right? Mathematics, and all that, right? It touches on all that. So we have to be almost an all-around scholar in this truth, right? Especially for the men, because we're the ones that's commanded to go out and teach and preach the word, right? So yeah, we have to study to show ourselves approved, right? I'm going to skip to verse 10. It says, "Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure." Right? We have to give diligence to the truth. And when you're diligent, right? Let me just look up the word diligent real quick. Right? Bear with me. So let me go to the definition of diligent. It says, having, or I have it pulled up right here. It says having or showing care and conscientiousness in one's work or duties. So you're having or showing care, right, in your work or your duties. So let's look at some similar words, also known as synonyms, right? You're industrious. You're hardworking, right? You're particular, right? You're rigorous, all right? You're thorough. You're attentive. You're heedful, right? You're earnest, right? Studious, zealous, right? So you have to be zealous and hardworking, all these things in the truth. Attentive, right? You reading, you're reading it slowly, you're digesting everything, right? You're trying to get all that knowledge, right? So we have to be studying in this truth. Are you studying, right? We have to ask ourselves, are we studying? Are we really studying in this truth? You have to, take your notes. Go ahead, take notes. Right, this is my notebook right here. Take notes. You know what I'm saying? Get, some of the language, to get some of the, the Hebrew, study the precepts, right? Go into the history, right? Get your highlighters, right? Get your pens and your pencils, right? And really, study and sit down like it's damn, school, right? Like it's a school. So, and here's another way of studying, right? Let me go to Isaiah 34 and 16, right? Isaiah 34 and 16 says, "Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. None of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them." Right? So you have to seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. So that's also a way to study, right? Because when you read, you're allowing the Lord to come down and sup with you, right? Because let me go to Revelation chapter 3 and verse 20, right? It says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock," right? "If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him and he with me," right? And will sup with him. Meaning what? Have supper with him, right? Dinner. Basically, the Lord coming down into your mind, because your door is your mind, right? Knocking at your door, and then you open to allow him to come into your mind and sup with you, right? And feed you the knowledge and wisdom understanding like wisdom does, right? Let me go to Proverbs, right? Well, let me go to Sirach real quick, right? This is the Apocrypha, right? This is the Apocrypha, right? So Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus, right? Chapter 15 and verse, I'm gonna start at 1. It says, "He that feareth the Lord will do good, and he that hath the knowledge of the law shall obtain her. And as a mother shall she meet him," right? Because wisdom is our mother, right? And also our kinswoman, right? And it says, "And receive him as a wife married of a virgin." So she's also our mother and our wife in a more symbolic sense, right? It says, "With the bread of understanding she shall feed him, and give him the water of wisdom to drink." So what is that? Is that actually talking about, actual bread and actual water? Or it's not talking about that. It's talking about the bread of understanding and the water of wisdom. Meaning what? This knowledge, the knowledge and the truth of the scriptures, right? So the Lord, right, with wisdom, she'll come down and also feed you, right? Let me go to Proverbs, right? In a more spiritual, more deeper sense, wisdom, the spirit of wisdom is YAHAWASHI also, right? But let's go to Proverbs chapter 9, right? Romans chapter 9 and verse 5, it says, "Come, eat of my bread and drink of the wine which I have mingled. Forsake the foolish and live, and go in the way of understanding." So this is wisdom, right? Our mother, right? Our wife, right? Preparing the table for us so that we may eat, right? Now, who are we, right, to not eat that, right? Who are we to not eat of the knowledge and of the wisdom, right? And of the food, right? That wisdom is preparing for us, right? So we're supposed to eat of that, right? Let's go to Song of Solomon. You have to go back to our mother's house. This is Song of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 1. "Oh, that thou wert as my brother, that sucked the breasts of my mother. When I should find thee without, I would kiss thee. Yea, I should not be despised," right? And you should want that for your brother, right? You should want your brother, right, to suck the breast of your mother. And who's your mother? We just talked about that. That's wisdom, right? You want your brother to and your sister to come into this truth, right? To get the same zeal that you had, right? Or still have, right? And so that he may see, or he or she may see the knowledge and the truth and understanding of the and the fear of the Lord, right? It says, I will lead thee and bring thee into my mother's house, right? You want to bring your brother and your sister into your mother's house, into wisdom's house, so that they may eat also, right? It says, who would instruct me, right? Who would instruct me, right? Because that's what mothers do. Mothers and fathers do. They instruct you, right? It says, I would cause thee to drink of spiced wine, of the juice of my pomegranate, right? So the spiced wine, right? What is that spiced wine? And the juice of the pomegranate. That's talking about the knowledge and the wisdom, right? It's talking about the knowledge and the wisdom, understanding, and fear of the Lord, right? So let me go to the book of John, or let me go to Revelation, right? Well, first we can get John, right? Get John. This is John chapter 4, right? To prove that the water is symbolic for the word, right? This is John chapter 4 and verse 13. It says, YAHAWASHI answered and said unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. So that's right. So if you drink of the word, right? If you drink of the knowledge and wisdom, understanding that Yahawah feeds you, right, and gives unto you, then you're going to be like a well of water springing up into everlasting life. So you get everlasting life. All right. This is John, right? Also, right? This is John chapter 6, right? And it says, John chapter 6, verse 53 says, Then Yahawah said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, except ye eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, ye have no life in you, right? That's right. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood have eternal life, and I'll raise him up at the last day. For my flesh is meat indeed, and my blood is drink indeed. Right? He that eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood dwelleth in me, and I in him. So that's right. So you eat of Yahawah, right? Symbolically, you eat of him, right? Meaning that what you consume, this knowledge and wisdom, understanding, right? And how do you eat it, right? It goes into your ear, right? It goes because whatever you hear, right, it goes into your ear, right? And then it comes into your mind and into your belly, right? Let me get that in Job, right? Let me get that in Job. Let me see, right? Talking about the ear trying the words, right? Like the mouth tasted the meat, right? Paraphrasing. Let me see here. Alright, Salakia. Let me just find this real quick. Right? And if I can't find it, then Salakia. But basically, right? Job, right? He's saying that the mouth or the ear, right, trieth meat, right, when it hears it, right? But yeah, you know, that's basically what I wanted to get. Right, but let me go to the belly, right? Let me go to the belly. Salakia. This is Job chapter 32 and verse 17. It says, I said I will answer also my part. I also will show mine opinion. For I am full of matter, the spirit within me constraineth me. Behold, my belly is as wine which hath no vent. It is ready to burst like new bottles. So he said, my belly is as wine which hath no vent. It is ready to burst like new bottles. So why is this is Eliphaz, right? This is Elihu, right? Elihu, Salakia. So this is Elihu. He's saying, look, I wanna show my opinion also, right? I want to show my opinion. I want to talk also, right? Because when you read this, he was the younger, right? He was the younger man within this conversation, So with respect, right? He showed respect to the elders. So he didn't speak until, basically he was spoken to, but now he wants to show it, his opinion. But when you're full of matter, like, you have things to say, right? But your words, they don't come from your actual belly; they come from your mind. So this proves that your belly is symbolic for your mind, right? So yeah, so basically, right, what you hear, right, goes into your ear and goes in, and you try it, you eat it, right, and it goes down into your belly, right, and then there you consume it, right. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. Kind of got a little bit off topic, but yeah, you have to ask yourself: are you reading, right? Are you reading? Are you studying? You know what I'm saying? Are you really getting the true understanding of this word, right? Are you getting the understanding, right? And if not, pray to the Lord, right? And he shall make thee whole. Let me go to James. And if you don't understand, you know what I'm saying? Hey, not every brother and sister is going to understand everything, right? Of the scriptures. Let me go to James chapter 1. And if you don't understand, hey, don't worry. Let me go to James chapter 5 or 1 verse 5. It says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is as a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. So, BAHASHAM. So if you lack wisdom, make sure you pray unto the Most High, right? And he will give you that wisdom, right? It says it gives to all men liberally, and all Israelite men, right? All Israelite men and women, right? So with that, and make sure you ask in faith. So with that, I'd like to give a hearty shalom and Kwam YASHARAHLA, a quick daily exhortation to study and to read, right? And shalom.